Hello guys, and welcome back to another video here today at the Startup Brain TV, the platform to help you boss up and create wealth for yourself. Now, if you're new to my channel is all about business, entrepreneurship, and bossing up. So if you're interested in all that type of content, be sure to hit the red subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit that bell notification button because that's the only way you will be notified each time I release a new video. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to start an online boutique legally. Now, I know a lot of you guys that are currently subscribed to my channel, people who are interested in starting an online boutique, and I've received a lot of queries from some of you guys on how to start a boutique legally, the legal aspects of starting a boutique, which is something that not a lot of people actually talk about, unfortunately. Okay, so I really just wanted to come to you guys today to clarify that question and give you guys some of the things and the steps that I feel are necessary to start your online boutique, even not just a boutique but even just a business legally or the right way. Okay, so if you're interested in learning how to start your business or your boutique legally and the legal things that you need to cover so you don't get fined or get yourself in trouble, then you better stay tuned and watch this video till the end. Now, a quick disclaimer before I start this video: I am not a lawyer or a legal expert. Everything that I'm talking about in this video is based on my own experience and of course based on research as well. If in doubt, always speak to a legal professional or someone who's qualified within this field to guide you moving forward. Okay, now the first thing that you need to ensure that you're doing right legally is to make sure that you pick the right business name. Now, when it comes to your business name from a legal perspective, you need to make sure that your name is not being used by another company or boutique or business or organization. Make sure that name is not taken by someone else that is currently trading. Make sure that the name doesn't appear on the company's house, which is basically what we use here in the UK. It's the company's house is basically the company website where you can check different companies. You can find all the companies that are currently registered and trademarked as well. I'm sure that you can check in the IRS website if you're in the United States. I'm sure there's other platforms that you can use to check to see that a name has not been taken and registered by someone else, because you don't want to get involved in any trademark issues. Okay, and even if you're coming up with a name that is very similar to another existing business, you also stand the risk of being sued. So let's say, for example, you wanted to come up with a business name that was called Lux Boutique, for example, and there's a business out there called Lux Clothing Boutique. That name is too similar already, okay? And you really don't want to be using a name that is too similar to another boutique name. And just because you've got clothing and they don't have clothing, or they have clothing and you don't have clothing, the fact that two of the words in your name are very similar to another boutique name is already a problem. So I wouldn't want to use any name that is too similar to another boutique's name or business's name. And even when you go to check for the names of the businesses to see if there's any other ones registered, it does ask you to key in maybe one word in your boutique, and then you bring up all the different companies that have similar business names as well. So make sure that that name is not registered by another company that is currently operating. Check on social media, see if they're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest. Do they have any accounts similar to the name you want to use? Are there any accounts that exist? Go on Google, good old Google, and Google that name and see what results it brings up. Because to be honest, if there's a company out there using that name, most likely you're going to find that information on Google anyway. So do your research, make sure you've done your initial checks, and also check that the domain name, which is basically the website URL, is not registered. Because the last thing you want to do is come up with a business name, register that business, and then go to register your website name and it's already taken by someone else. If let's just take up the legal aspect of things, but imagine that you are using Lux Boutique and there's a Lux Clothing Boutique. Your customers are going to get confused eventually, because they're going to go on Google, they're going to Google your boutique name, and they're going to find the Lux Boutique. It's probably going to be ranking first because it's maybe an existing business that already has a lot of traffic. So you're ending up losing customers because they're now going to that boutique's website and buying from that boutique. And if that boutique were to do something wrong, guess what? A customer could accidentally leave a review on your own boutique's website thinking that you were the other boutique because your names are too similar. Likewise, you could be losing customers to the other boutique. It's just too much of a headache. You don't want that, okay? So make sure your name is not taken by any other boutiques or any other businesses. Get the legal aspects sorted. You don't want to get fined. You don't want to get trademark issues or any legal problems, okay? Now, the next thing you want to do, of course, to ensure that you're starting your business legally is to register your business. Now, you cannot actually operate as a business legally if you're not registered, right? So there's different ways you can register your business. If you're just a one-man business getting started, I recommend you start as a sole proprietor or a sole trader. Now, being a sole trader means that you're the sole owner of the business and there's less paperwork required. You don't have to file a lot of paperwork out there. You only have to file your taxes at the end of the year. It also means that, unfortunately, you are not separate from your company. So you're not a separate legal entity from your company. So if you were to owe a supplier or you had a bank loan of some sort, the debt collectors have the right to come and repossess your personal assets because you're essentially the same person. If you are a sole trader, basically your personal assets are not separate from your business. So if your business was to go bust or to go in debt, then they have the right to come and collect your personal possessions to set that debt payment, okay? However, if you're just getting started, I always recommend you register as a sole trader if you're definitely 100% sure that you're going to be operating by yourself in the long run. When I started, I was registered as a sole trader, and then of course, as time went on, I converted into a limited company. Right now, I'm actually trading as a limited company just because I run several businesses and I can actually run them all under the limited company umbrella. And it saves me from having to create 100 different sole trader businesses, whereas I can operate everything under one umbrella company, okay? If you have maybe a best friend or family member you're running the business with, then you should look into registering as a partnership because then it means that it's going to be owned by two people, and if there's any liabilities, then you are both liable for those debts as well. So if you're thinking about employing or hiring people, then maybe you should really look into registering as a limited company because it just makes a lot more sense to hire people under a limited company as opposed to hiring people under a sole trading company. Sole trading means one person. Partnership means two people. Anybody else, get yourself an LLC or a limited company. So make sure you have your business registered either as a sole trader, partnership, or a limited company, okay? And save yourself the headache. Now, another legal thing you want to do, of course, for those of you guys who are selling, of course, is to make sure you have a seller's permit. This is equivalent to a VAT number for those of us based here in the United Kingdom. So if you're in the USA, seller's permit is usually what is required to sell products. So if you're going to be selling anything, basically, you need to have a seller's permit. That's the whole point of a seller's permit. If you need to sell anything, you need to have a seller's permit. Make sure you register for a seller's permit as well. Or just check with your local state because, again, the laws differ for every person out there, okay? It can help you with things like taxes in the future as well because you can claim back certain taxes as well, okay? So again, check with your local state because these rules differ. It differs for every country, it differs for every city, it differs for every county, it differs for every state. So always check with your own local states to see what is applicable to you, okay? And make sure that you always follow the instructions on your governmental website, okay? Another legal thing that you want to do, of course, and this is really, really key if you plan to hire employees or hire people, is to get yourself an EIN number, which is basically an employer identification number. Here in the UK is equivalent to a pay as you earn number because you will need that to pay people. So that then identifies you as an employer, and then it means that you can process things like pay slips to pay your employees, okay? So make sure you get yourself an EIN number if you plan on hiring people. In the UK, you don't need to register for a PAYE reference number unless you're actually hiring employees. It's more to do with hiring employees, okay? I mean, if you're working for yourself, I don't think you really need an EIN number, but again, quote me if I'm wrong. For those of you in the United States, again, this is based on my research. So check with your state and see if it's a mandatory requirement for those of you starting businesses, okay? And then the final thing, of course, is for you to make sure that you register for a business account. So I know this one is probably not a legal requirement, especially if you're a sole trader. You don't really need to have a business account by law, but if you are a limited company, you need to have a business bank account by law. So it's legal for you to have a business bank account. Even if you're just a sole trader, I still recommend that you get yourself a separate account to separate your business transactions from your personal transactions, because it's very easy for you to, accidentally mix up your finances. You're using your business profits to do your grocery shopping. It's very, very easy. So try and separate your transactions. have an account for your business transactions and an account for your personal transactions. Okay, so always make sure you get yourself a business bank account, especially if you're going to be operating as a limited company or an LLC. So I hope you guys found this video useful in the legal aspects of starting your boutique or starting your business. And again, like I said, I'm not a legal professional. I'm only speaking based on what has worked for me and based on what I currently do as well. Always check with someone of legal standing if unsure, okay? So again, if you're struggling to start your online boutique and you just don't know where to start, check out the Run Boutique Business Kit. If you want to find out more in-depth strategies to get your boutique up and running, you can check out my book, The Online Boutique CEO. I'm currently on sale on Amazon right now. And just go on Amazon and search for The Online Boutique CEO and you should find my book, okay? It's basically an A to Z guide on how to start your own boutique from scratch. And of course, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the red subscribe button down below, and I look forward to catching up with you guys in my next video. Bye for now.